Well, hey everybody. Jason here with Strike Three Fishing. We're waiting on Kenny Wilkinson. He got a little sidetracked this evening, and he ought to be in here in the next few minutes, hopefully, if he can figure the computer stuff out when he gets home. So he just had got home. So give a little bit we'll give everybody a little time to get on here. Hope everybody's doing well. Got a little snow in the area, so I don't think too many people got out on the water today around here anyway. But got Northeast Missouri angler Dennis. He says, hey, what's up, Dennis? Should have had you on as well, since Kenny got a little sidetracked. So if you guys are on here, send us a note, say hi. We got Jim Corner, the Cosmic Chicken. He was supposed to be on here tonight as well, but he had some technical difficulties on his computer, and we couldn't get the link set up right for him or whatever. I sent him the link, and his computer wouldn't work. So anyway, he's gonna listen in, watch, and everything. So Gary Gerbinski, he's here. What's up, Gary? So it's just gonna be a fun night. Everybody's probably snowed in wherever you're at around this area anyway. Pretty much the whole state of Missouri, I believe. So gonna have a good time. Where once Kenny gets on here, there's Kenny right there. Let's bring him on here. There's Kenny.
What's up, Jason?
Can you hear me, Bubba?
I can hear you.
All right. Hope everybody can see us okay. There we go. Made it home, huh?
Yeah, I made it home.
He was out playing in the snow, you know. He was out sledding probably.
That's right. Whole thing you can do right now.
That's right. Can't go fishing.
That's right.
So anyway, looks like we got about 12 people watching right now. Northeast Missouri Anglers on. Jim
What's up,
Corner.
Dennis?
Cosmic Chicken, like I said, was going to be on here, Jimmy Corner, but he had some technical malfunctions with his computer. So Northeast Dennis says if Northeast Missouri Angler Cam's good and sounds good for both. So anyway, we're gonna get going here. We're just gonna talk about wintertime crappie fishing. If anybody's got any questions for Kenny or myself, type it in the comments there. We got Roger on here. I always have trouble with your name or your last name, Roger. Clethermus, I believe, something like that. Hope I said that right. He's on. He says, "What's up?" Let's see here. Before we get started, you guys can go to ardenreels.com, save 25% off your entire order if you type in Strike 3 Fishing at checkout. It supports the channel. I really appreciate Arden Reels for doing that. They got a lot of great rod and reels and other stuff on the website. Check them out. So anyway, well, Kenny, looks like you and Dennis from Northeast Missouri Angler put the whooping on him. Thomas Hill the other day. I saw the video this morning.
Yeah, Jason, it was a good bite, man. It was fast and furious. We put the hammer on them.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like he caught some decent fish as well.
Yeah, we caught some really good fish. You know, I don't know what our best 7 would have went, but it was well on its way to a good strand.
Right, and that lake's notorious for some big crappie anyway.
Right.
So, was you guys just pretty much dipping brush piles? I'm sure.
Yeah, we was jig fishing brush piles and had to dead stick them, but
right.
It was a good bite. And then we got to some this time of year too, and this is something that live scope is really helps you determine and stuff too. You know, some brush piles we could get away with just dead sticking them, and then there's other brush piles we had to swing it. They wanted it moving, so we had to swing it past them and over the top of them, and then they come up and get it. You know,
Right.
so not every brush pile was effective dead sticking them. Some brush piles they wanted it, you know, like I said, swinging past them, wanted it moving.
Right.
If you dead stick that same brush pile, you still got bit, but it took a long time to get bit. But if you swung it past them, they was hitting it pretty quick.
That's good to
And
know.
live scope's the only thing that, you know, that's one of the great things about the live scope, you know, is how the fish react and all that stuff, you know. That was one key that picked up on a couple of different brush piles is they wanted it swinging. So obviously, whenever that was the case, we didn't sit there and dead stick it very long. We pulled if they didn't hit dead sticking for 10 seconds or something like that. We quickly pulled back up and pitched back out there and let it swing by them again. You know.
Right.
Now other piles they was just wanted dead still. You could sit there and hover over them dead still, and that's why they wanted it. But certain piles, they like I said, they was one that swinging. They was one that moving.
Good deal. Yeah, that looked like y'all were putting them in the boat that day for sure. So
Yeah, we had a really good day. I think Dennis said he went back through the film and we had 67 fish in 3 hours.
wow.
And, you know, out of them 67, we might have had 7 that wasn't keeper size. The rest were, you know, keeper size fish.
Right. Now,
And
were you
that was
guys
just out playing around.
right? Were you guys fishing mostly the warm water side, or were you getting out?
Yeah, the warm water side.
Warm water side.
Yeah.
I didn't know if the T Bridge side was open or not. Like, I mean, I didn't know if the whole lake was open or have any ice on it.
The main lake was open. I didn't go as far up to see if it was open, but the main lake was open.
Right.
At least at the warm water side of it.
Right. Well, I bet them fish on the cold water side would have bit too.
They probably would have. It'd probably been a little lethargic, but they probably would have bit too. I was going to run down and check a pile down lake from the warm water side, but we ran out of time and just didn't make it there.
Right. So, what was the water temperature in the warm water?
It was 54 degrees in the warm water.
Okay.
The other day, whenever I was there, 54 in the warm water, and down lake in that pile I was talking about, it was 42, and they bit, but it was pretty slow. You know,
Right.
You had to really dead stick them.
Right. Well, Ripping Lips 23, Timmy G, what's up, buddy? He says, "What's up, fellas?" So,
What's up, Ripping Lips?
yeah, he likes to join us on here. Glad to see him every week. Or if this is our second time, we're going to try to get on a schedule. My basketball schedule is kind of slowing down where I'm going to probably have Wednesday nights off. So try to have them on Wednesday evenings and, throughout the rest of the year. Summertime might vary. Depends on what's going on, if we're out on the lake or whatever. So, let's see here. Yeah, Dennis from Northeast says, yeah, they had over an hour of footage. The video locked up on that new camera he bought. I think it was that GoPro 8 he said he bought. He was having some problems with. So I guess there was a lot more footage that didn't actually get on the video this morning. So Buckshot said Dennis took a strong second.
Well, it was a little lopsided, but we won't talk about that.
Talk about that.
Hey, Dennis did good.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, it was a great video. So we got Mike Chrisman on here. What's up, guys? So you guys got any questions? Feel free to ask anything. I don't think anybody's been on Mark Twain for a while anyway. I know I haven't pretty much been on since Christmas. But so when was the last time you were on? Mark Twain did. Kenny?
Oh, right before the ice hit, I actually broke ice a little bit, um, but it ended up getting too thick to break.
Right. Looked like when I went over the dam, I think it was Monday. Looked like the lake was open. I mean, I think you can get on the fish most of the lake right now until this last front hit. I don't know what this the temperature's going to do to the ramps or not. It's going to freeze over again.
I think next week weather's looking pretty good. Next week, sometime next week, we'll be able to get on the water again.
Yeah.
I was doing really well on the lake on March 22 up until it froze to where I couldn't bust it no more.
Right. Ripping
It was a
lips.
good bite, fast bite,
Right.
good fish.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to get back out on the lake. Hopefully, like I said, this next weekend. My boat's actually in the shop getting a little fiberglass ding fixed that happened a couple months ago. I finally got it in over there at Short Ridge Collision over there off HH over there by Indian Creek. I've heard a lot of good things about them guys over there. So
Mine's scheduled to go get a new kill guard from busting my kill guard up last year, busting the ice. So I just ain't been able to be without my boat yet. It's still holding warm enough temperatures that I just don't want to take it to the shop. He won't give me a exact time or whatever for it to be done. So, um, but sometime in the near future, regardless, it's going to go to the same place. So,
right, yeah, yeah. I mean, I pulled my boat in over there the other day, and man, they had a pretty good setup over there. Had a nice big shop, and a
yeah,
lot.
he worked on Tracy's vehicle and done a good job. So I'm confident enough that he'll do a good job on my boat.
Yeah, I know he said he'd have mine done by the end of the week, and I took it in there on Monday afternoon. So we'll see
Good.
what happens. But Ripping Lips got a question. He goes, "What was your guys' biggest crappie that day, Kenny, over there at Thomas Hill?"
Ripping lifts, we didn't weigh none. I'm wanting to say that probably more than likely is about a 160 was our big fish that day. But that's guessing. I'm usually pretty dang close. We're guessing. I weigh enough fish. I'm usually pretty close, but give or take 160.
Yeah, yeah, like
Nothing. We didn't have a lot of huge fish, but we had a lot of really good eating fish. We had a lot of 10 to 12-inch fish. And those are the fish to eat, in my opinion.
right. Oh, absolutely. Was you guys, I guess, using some thumper pill heads there, or what are you?
We was using thumper pill heads, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, and we was running muddy water baits, and we was running six killer baits.
yeah,
Both they both worked really well.
yeah, yeah. 6 killer baits, man. He's got some good looking plastics. I've actually got to go get some from him one of these days. But he makes some pretty good plastics.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And that guy fishes. I mean, he fishes up here a lot. I believe, don't
As much as he can. He doesn't have a boat, Jason, but how we met is several years back. He made a Facebook post that he's in the Carpenters Union,
he? Oh, okay.
and anyway, he made a post several years back that he'd pay the way and pay the boat gas and pay the entry fee and all that stuff if somebody was willing to fish it with him that had a boat. So I messaged him and said, "Hey man, I got a boat, and no, you ain't got to pay the whole way. You want to fish it, I'll fish it with you, and we'll split it like I do with anybody else. And we just become good friends over it, and took him fishing several different times, and in
Sure.
the last several years, when I get a good chance, and he's off work or whatever, it works out.
Right.
But yeah, he's Keith Eilers. He's a really good guy. Makes some really good baits.
Yep. He fishes with Chad a lot, don't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He fished with Chad, and Chad kind of took over fishing that tournament that me and him had fished. You know, for whatever reason, the last couple of years has been the same day as a tournament that the club puts on. so I ain't been able to fish it. So Chad's kind of took over and took him or whatever, you know.
Right.
Me and Keith ended up finishing third that tournament, and I think Chad and him took second last year, I believe, in it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out, maybe fish a couple crappie tournaments this summer, maybe if I got time on the bass tournaments. Just something different. Probably try to fish the Thumper tournament. I think it's in September, is what Van said.
I can't hear anything you're saying, Jason. It's all.
Oh, you can't hear me? I was saying that. Is that better?
The audio is just terrible.
Must be on your end. Can everybody else hear me? Maybe I got some technical difficulties here. How about that?
I'm on my phone, so it may be me, but it's It's like a distorted robot talking.
Oh, okay.
Looks like I heard that part.
Huh?
I'm hearing you good now.
Okay. What kind of phone you got?
Android.
Android. Oh boy.
So if there's anything there you're asking or whatever, you're gonna have to repeat it.
Right. Well, here we got Buckshot on here. He says, as a live scoper, you know, himself, do you feel we're going to run Mark Twain Lake? Kenny, I heard your thoughts that it killed spider rigging. Do you think live scope's going to ruin Mark Twain Lake?
I don't. I think it's going to affect it in some degree, but not certain what degree. You take somebody like me, Jason, a lot of my other buddies. Yeah, you can see the big fish, and that's what you catch. Me personally, most of my buddies, we throw them big fish back. A lot of people, they just can't help but catch the biggest 15 fish that they can catch.
Right.
You know, so with that being said, I think it's going to affect it somehow, but too early to tell on how it's going to affect it. And yes, spider rigging, that's a thing of the past with live scope. I haven't even done it since I had live scope. So this is going on the 4th year. I haven't spider rigged, but live scope is just like spider rigging. It still takes a good fisherman. It still takes knowing what you're doing to catch fish. I mean, until you get good at spider rigging, you're going to suck. Plain and simple.
Right.
I mean, you know, you're going to catch a few fish, but you take somebody that's a seasoned and really knows what they're doing, spider rigging, you can catch a lot of fish. Same way with live scope. Now, difference is, yeah, live scoping or spider rigging, you can get in a school of fish and you can catch a lot more in a quicker amount of time than you can live scope. But that's just because you're catching everything that's right there.
Right.
Where live scoping, you're dropping down, you're trying to catch the biggest fish of what's there. You know, so it takes a little more time to put the same amount of fish in the boat. But I'm not certain that it's gonna. I'm more concerned about it killing the big fish population than Mark Twain is loaded with fish. You're not going to outfish it. No. It ain't going to happen.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to happen.
There's
live scope, spider rigging, I don't care what it is, unless you're throwing grenades out there, you're not going to kill the crappie population in Mark Twain Lake.
No.
Now, you might hurt the big fish population, but you ain't gonna kill the population. Plain and simple. Right.
You know, if everybody does their, you know, I mean, people can do what they want as far as the big fish goes, but
absolutely,
you know, there's a lot of guys I know, you know, that catch big fish on live scope and we throw them back. You know,
absolutely.
Pictures, throw them back. You know, if they're big enough to go get mounted, we'll measure them, take them, get a replica made or whatever. I mean, I haven't caught one that big yet, you know, but I mean, I know you've caught some 2-pounders and 2.5s, and that one big fish that y'all caught this summer was what, 3, wasn't it?
308.
308, yeah. So, I mean, if everybody does take those big fish out and butchers them and eats them, puts them on a piece of bread for a sandwich, then yeah, that's going to hurt the big fish. But if everybody does their part, then we're going to have big fish from years to come.
Nationwide, Jason, as crappie fishermen, until the crappie fisherman starts getting the mentality of the bass fisherman that you let the big fish swim,
Right.
and you eat the small fish, nothing's going to change.
Right.
One thing about it, Mark Twain Lake is not known as a big fish fishery. Well, it's never going to be known if we keep butchering them all.
Right. Absolutely.
Now on tournament days, yes, I keep seven big fish. The difference is them fish been some of them fish been in that live well for 8 hours. You go throw them back, yes, they're going to die. But you catch a fish, big fish, you catch them right there on the spot, take your measurements, weigh them, take pictures, all that. That fish is going to live.
Right.
And it's just, it don't matter what it is, deer, any kind of game. The bigger they are, the worse they taste. I mean, but the laws are set. If you want to keep that big fish, more power to you. But you need to think of it as conservationists and let them big fish swim. I mean, you got the thrill of catching them. Get the thrill of catching them again the next time.
Right. Yeah. You turn that 1 3/4 fish back.
They're the breeding stock. They're the gene pool of the lake.
Yeah. You're gonna have your 2.5 pounders. If you throw them.
If everybody would do it, I think it would improve the big fish catch ratio. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right. Do you think?
One thing for sure, if you kill every 120 or 130 inch buck on your farm, guess what? You're not getting 150 inch bucks.
No,
ain't happening.
If you want to kill the 150s, 160s, you got to let the 130s, 140s go. It's
that's right.
Simple,
Absolutely.
Jim, that's a great question. Glad we got to talk about that a little bit. Jim Coiner, the Cosmic Chicken, he was going to be on tonight. Like I said, had some technical difficulties, so he's just going to chime in and talk. He's a big bass fisherman on this lake, and he's got live scope last couple of years, and he's kind of turning into a crappie guy. So he wants to know if you notice anything on live scope if pointed at the fish that they swim away from.
You know what? I have not really ever noticed much where the fish are spooky. Yeah, they might swim away, and a lot of people will say, well, that fish is spooky. Well, no, that fish ain't spooky. That's just what that fish is going to do.
Right.
Now you can drop a jig down or a minnow or whatever to a fish, and he can follow it and then turn and go back. Well, you know what? That fish, he's not liking what he's seeing.
Right.
So with live scope, you can kind of figure out, okay, the fish, if they'll chase it, say 3 feet and hit it, but they'll still chase it 5 feet. And if they chase it 5 feet, they ain't going to hit it. So that tells me once they chase it 3 foot, get it out of the way, pull it back up, pitch back out there that same fish again, and let him get another look at it. There's no sense in sitting there and letting him follow it for 5 feet, because at 5 feet, you already know he ain't going to eat it at 5 feet.
Right.
So right. Time on the water and looking at your screen and seeing how these fish react is huge on live scope. Right. And one of the biggest things that I tell everybody, the biggest key to live scope fishing is speed. You've got to be able to pitch out there, get that jig to that fish as quick as possible.
If they don't want it, get it out of the way and throw it back in there on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I haven't had a lot of fish spook either. When I scan at them, with live scope. I mean, I don't really have that problem on this lake anyway. So
No, I mean, I hear a lot of people say that fish are spooky, fish are spooky. Well, you know what? Maybe they are. I don't know, but I haven't noticed it.
yeah, I mean, like you said, and they might leave the brush pile 2 or 3 foot, but then they're coming right back in there. From what I've
Right.
seen, if you pull up on
And,
something,
and if you're fishing pole timber or something like that, and the fish does spook out, swims out. 99% of the time, if you hold your jig right where he was setting, that's the exact same spot he's going to come back to.
right? Yep, yep. I've seen the same thing. So hope that answers your question, Jimmy. I know the reason why I asked that. I was talking to him the other day. He was bass fishing a tournament down at Lake of the Ozarks this last Sunday, and he said they got into a bunch of crappie with the jerk bait down there, and he said every time they scanned to these schools of crappie, they would just run off. That's what he was telling me down there, down at Lake of the Ozarks, and I think that's why he asked this question here, for Mark Twain or Thomas Hill or wherever. But I haven't
Right.
seen. I mean, I haven't seen that here.
Now, Jimmy,
But
are you certain it was crappie and not just a ball of bait fish? The bait fish right now they're moving a lot. Um, you know, so
he said we had bunch of schools of fish swim away when the beam hit them at the Ozarks. Is what he was saying.
it may possibility be down there at Lake the Ozarks, water's a little clearer, obviously, than up here, or at least my experience.
Right.
And then if they was fishing down there that lower end of the lake, Gravois Arm, and down there 10-mile marker or less or whatever, the water predominantly is pretty clear. That might have some kind of effect on them.
Right.
Not going to say that it wasn't a live scope, but I just haven't experienced it on this lake.
Right. Oh, Buckshot says I just dislike the fact that I kept maybe 4 limits to 10 and 11-inch crappie last year, but someone sees live scope on the boat and he's an a-hole. So, I mean, live scope's here. I mean, it's just another tool to use. I mean, there's no reason, I know there's going to be haters out there, obviously. It's like anything, but
There's a lot of people that um, are anti live scope just because one, they ain't got it.
right.
Two, you know what? Save your pennies, get it.
Yeah. And
They're not really that very expensive. I
no,
mean, the
no,
same people that are dishing it probably paid $1,500 or $2,000 for their Humminbird side imaging.
right. Yeah. You got all that.
It's no different.
Right.
Keep up with the times.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you're going to go out and knock them out every time out. You're
No,
just going
you
to fish
still
where
got to
there's
know what
food,
you're doing.
whether they're going to eat or not. It's up to the fish.
Right. You still got to know what you're doing. You still got to be able to get them fish to eat. You're not going to go out there. I don't care if you got live scope or whatever. If you got live scope, you're not going to go out there the very first trip and be successful. It ain't going to happen. If you go out there the first trip and got successful, you got lucky. You're not going to do that every time. You still
Right.
got to learn how to run the unit and get the most out of that unit.
Right. Absolutely. Scott Breed's on. What's up, Scott?
What's up, Scott?
What's up, guys?
Another hammer on Mark Twain.
Yep. Yeah. He can catch him as well. So live scope doesn't make the fish bite. Just helps you not fish dead water. Absolutely. We get
Absolutely. That's the biggest key right there. You know that you're not fishing dead water.
right. It's
You
just like a
know
side
you're fishing
imaging.
where the fish are at. It's up to
Yep.
you to get them to bite.
Yep.
And you know what? There's times that there ain't nothing that you can do to make them bite.
Right.
When you're not hungry, you're not hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same way with the fish.
When just like guys with side imaging, and you go like down Lake of the Ozarks, if you go down and side scan docks, and you're not going to stop before live scope, you're going to scan all them docks with your side imaging, and then once you find a wad of crappie or fish, whatever you fish for, you're going to stop and you're going to fish for them. That's the same thing with this live scope is. You're scanning around, you're finding the trees with fish on them here at Mark Twain, or the brush piles that has fish, and some don't, and you just whenever the fish are on there, you're going to stop and fish. When you're not, you're going to move on. So it's just another tool.
Very true.
We got another question here from Bill Corver. I hope I said your name right, Bill. Thanks for joining us. What's your PB at Mark Twain?
My personal best at Mark Twain was a 288.
288.
And I've had two 279s. That's my second best.
I think my personal best is like a 162. So I've got a long way to go. So
it took me a lot of years to break the 2-pound club in Missouri, and I've been pretty fortunate. And it's because of live scope. Year before last, I had 7 over 2 pounds, and this year I had 6 over 2 pounds with 1 over 308. Now that's me and my boat. I mean, it's not just me, but my boat is put over 7 last year and over 6 this last year.
Right. When he's taking clients out or friends out, he's putting them on. He's going areas where there's big fish, and he's putting them in the boat. That's really good. So, anybody else got any questions on here? Feel free to chime in. Really good question so far. Like I said, we're just kind of doing this. Nothing else going on right now, unless you want to go sledding or go build a snowman or something. How was that road down going to the hot water ramp down there at Thomas Hill the other day? Was it a mess or?
It wasn't too bad. The other day, it hadn't had a chance to thaw out yet.
Yeah. I know a lot of guys been catching a lot of stripers down there.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stripers being caught.
Yeah. So, when's your next trip, Kenny? Do you have something scheduled?
I don't have anything scheduled right now.
All right.
But I've been taking. Sorry, I gotta go. Bathroom.
Yeah.
I've been taking sponsors and friends and family out, obviously up to Thomas Hill here lately.
Yeah.
Been doing very well, but
right.
No, I don't have a trip scheduled anytime soon.
Right. Well, I'm hoping to get up to Thomas Hill here one of these days. Like I said, basketball's kind of slowing down for me a little bit. I might be able to get up there on the weekends, or obviously the weekends. I got to work during the week, but I know Van from Thumper Jigs got the Rock Island show coming up the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. I think it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday up in Rock Island. Kenny and I went up there last year, had a pretty good time, and I'm going to hope to make it up there Saturday and Sunday. Are you going to try to get up there to go, or yet?
When is that, Jason?
I think it's the 17th. Check here.
I'm still not sure yet on if I'm
I
going to be.
think it's 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th of February. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I've got a game that night on the 18th, so I won't probably get up there till Saturday, 9, 10 o'clock.
I'm not certain yet if it's going to work out or not.
Yeah. It was a pretty good show last year. I mean, for the COVID deal, hitting pretty heavy. So.
It was.
And I know Van's he's got kind of the middle section of that floor, so that's going to be a high traffic area.
That's going to help a lot. We sold a lot of product up there last year, and it should be a good show for him.
Right. Let's see. We got another question here from. He said, "I would say most people live scope throw back at least double to triple the crappie every year than people without it." That sounds probably about right.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Hard to say, yeah. So anyway,
I know for a fact, me and Dennis Lawrence and Northeast Missouri Angler threw back at least 67 fish last Saturday.
right. Just take what you want to eat and throw the rest back. Have fun catching them. You know,
To
I
me,
know
to me, it's just as fun just catching and releasing is throwing them in the box. So
absolutely,
if you
absolutely.
don't need it, why sit there and let it go to waste in your freezer?
Right, exactly. If you want 8 or 9, 10 fish, that's what I usually try to take home if I want to eat some fish. Me and the wife. I know Dennis does the same thing. You do the same thing. When you get to eat fish.
Yeah, it's not very often.
No, not at all.
Saturday would have been a good opportunity, but you know what? I didn't want to clean none. So
Yeah, exactly. And, then
I still got one bag of fish in the freezer, and as long as I got one bag of fish in the freezer, there's no need for me to keep any more.
right. Looks like we got. Let's see. Dennis from Northeast says he only keeps 9 to 12 inch fish when he keeps them. So, and he said that on his videos as well. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's good man, Dennis.
yeah. Ripping lips. He says his phone never rang, Kenny. So I guess you're in trouble there.
Ripping lips. You just make a date and you get a hold of me. I'll take you.
Oh yeah, Joe Elking. Do you need a St. Croix rod to catch fish? Do you know? I don't know if that's towards me or Kenny. Probably Kenny. Do you?
I fish St. Croix whenever I'm dock shooting at Lake the Ozarks. So I mean, I don't really know what you're asking there, but
Maybe he's
if you got something in mind, elaborate.
yeah. Stick another comment out there. St. Croix makes a good rod. I know that.
Jason, that's what I use. I use a 7 foot St. Croix. I don't even remember what. I'd have to go out and look at it, but that's what I use when I dock shoot.
Right.
It's St. Croix.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to try to do that dock shooting here one of these days. I have never really tried it before. So
It's a fun way of doing it.
yeah. I think it'd be fun to try to do it here at Mark Twain around the marinas. But just never get down there to do it.
Yeah, we could do it here at Mark Twain, but Lake Dill's our place to go if you're going to dock
Yeah.
shoot.
Absolutely. There's a lot of good videos out on them on dock shooting. I know Terry Blankenship down there. He's a legend on them docks down there.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yep, exactly. Let's see. Let's see. Jimmy Corner says we're trying to start a restocking benefit tournament at Mark Twain to put bass back in the lake, getting on the bass side. So that'd be a good idea. I know the bass side's kind of, there's it's just is what it is on bass on Mark Twain. I mean, there's some good fish in there. They catch them one day, they don't bite the next. It's just the way it goes. But I think if we did have a restocking program on the bass side, I think it would do the lake a lot of good, in my opinion.
I agree. I catch a few when I'm crappie fishing, or I see a few on my graph. But you know what? The lake's hurting for bass, and anything anything that you bass fishermen can do to restore the resources would be great. East Missouri Crappie Club, they donated $500 to the Corps to get more of those condos built. That's going to be a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. I know there's already been fish on a lot of those they put out earlier.
Yeah,
When they put
they're
those out,
holding
when that September, October, when they put those out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere around there, first part of November, something like that.
yeah,
And
it'll
then they put
definitely.
some out in the spring, also.
Right. And we did a lot of shoreline restoration this what in December, I believe. So
Yeah,
we put a lot out, to help the fry, during the
and,
spawn.
and the permit's good. through March. So if anybody's got interest in doing it again, give me or you a shout, and maybe we'll set something up and do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, me and you and Mark Graham, and a few other guys talked about maybe doing it over there around Pigeon area. If we can get in that area and kind of load that area up a little bit, because I think Spalding area is pretty much covered.
Yeah, but if we can get the help, we'll do it again.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we had 6 boats last time, something like that. 5 or 6.
I believe.
Yeah, 5 or 6. So here's a question from Michael Sherman. Have you updated the recent live scope release update? If so, has that changed your overall settings? I have not did mine yet.
I have not either. I just ain't took the time to do it. For one, I'm no hurry because I like what I'm seeing now, but I will before long. Eventually I'll do it.
Right.
I've heard both ways, but I was talking to a buddy today about that. Anytime Humminbird puts out an update or Garmin, either one, you get biased opinions. Me, anytime I've done an update, you just got to get used to it. A lot of people are just used to what they're seeing, and when they update it, they got to change things around a little bit, and it takes them a little while to get used to it. But at the end, everybody's always happy. Right off the initial, right out the gate, they want to complain about it or this or that, biased opinions. But you know what? These companies, they wouldn't be putting updates out there if they didn't need it.
Right. Absolutely. That's a good point there. I'm hoping when I get my boat back here at the end of the week, if I can make it out there, I'm going to go ahead and do mine, get it over with, and play with it and see what happens. So I just haven't been able to get out on the water like I've been wanting to in the last month or so. So let's see. Dennis says they put all them those crappie condos there on Route in October. Spring was 3 Fingers. In April we'll be doing the South Fork area, so that's good to know.
Right.
And, here's Chris J. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Any opinion on why crappie do so good on Twain versus the bass population? So, I just don't think. There's. I don't know. There's a lot of bass. I don't know if there's a lot of bass in this lake, or they just the way the lake fluctuated. I think it messes with the bass a little bit, and I really don't think it messes with the crappie too much.
Well, I think this personal opinion, you already have low numbers of bass on this lake. Obviously, this lake, there's not a weekend through the prime from spring, but there's not a weekend goes by that there's not a bass tournament.
Right.
On this lake. Yeah, you turn them bass loose, and bass are a little hardier than crappie, but there's still a lot of them bass that just turn loose that they just die. Not only that, they're
Looks like he froze up.
there's a small number of them. What happened to you?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you froze up a little bit.
Yeah, both of us froze up. Anyway,
you're good now.
The amount of pressure it sees for the amount of fish that's in there, I think just over compensates for any kind of good growth or good numbers.
Absolutely. I think if we got a bass restocking, a bass stocking program, it's obviously going to help, in my opinion. And you got to put fish in to keep the population there. And we've heard from different resources that that's not going to help. It's been brought up, but I just don't see how they're thinking that way. You got to have a restocking program. In my opinion.
In my opinion, yes, my opinion too. There's something wrong with the bass because I can't see where the bass couldn't strive on this lake. There's plenty of bait fish. You know, bass can eat bait bigger than what crappie can eat.
Right.
You know, and so I can't see where it's a bait issue.
Right. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think, in my opinion, I just don't think there's a lot of the population of the bass is that great on this lake because there'll be days you go out there and not even get a bite.
Right.
8 hours.
I think a lot of times when them bass are spawning is when they're jacking with the water. So I think it's got something to do with the spawn. The bass are not spawning great on
Right.
this lake.
Right.
Either that or when they do spawn, it's too easy for the other fish to get them due to fluctuation of water or something.
Right. Yeah, Jimmy's got a good point here. We want to put in 8-inch bass to start, which I think would be great. If we get we get the money raised or however we're going to do it, and we get some volunteers, we can all, take a bunch of 8-inch bass with in our boats and go dump them different parts of the lake and try to get it done. I know Jimmy and I think Mike Waddle was trying to work on that. So hopefully you guys get any updates on that, well, let me know, and then we actually might have a little show about that here one of these days. We get that, we get things rolling on that. So there was another. Do you think? What about a length limit on Mark Twain for crappie? I don't think they're ever going to go there, but don't you think a 9-inch limit would be sufficient?
Well, I don't know. Something needs to be done. I don't know what the answer is, but something needs to be done. Something needs to be tried different than what's going on right now. With what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing, there's an abundance of 6, 7, 8-inch crappie. So I don't know. Maybe it'd be better to keep them fish there, even if you don't eat them. Just throw them on the bank. I don't know.
Right.
There's so many fish the same size after the same type of bait that I think that it stunts them. I talked to a conservation guy or guy out on the lake one day, and they said reason why they won't go to a 9-inch limit on this lake is 9-inch fish on this lake are too old.
Wow.
So and I can kind of see that a little bit. Now myself personally, they got to be 9 inches to keep.
Right.
9 to 12-inch fish is what I keep. Anything over, anything less goes back.
Yep. That's what I do too. 9 to 12, and weigh them 12 inches, and they're over a pound or better. They're going back.
Right.
There was a lot of tagged fish caught this year, from the way I understand from people on Facebook. There was a lot of tag fish. I know I caught 2, and it's interesting looking at them tag fish on how far they go.
Absolutely. I lost track now how many I've caught, but I've caught 6 or 7, best I can remember now. But
right.
Yeah, they travel a long distance, a lot more than what people think.
Yeah.
From
I know I caught one. I caught one over there by the dam, and I had the paper here. It got thrown away or something, but I took it in. The conservation, looked at the tag number and all that good stuff, and I caught it right by the dam, and it came from Lick Creek, up Lick Creek somewhere. That's a pretty good little distance. And
I've caught fish that was caught in North Fork, and I caught them in Middle Fork. I've caught fish that was caught in Middle Fork, and I caught them in North Fork. Caught fish that was caught in Lick Creek that was caught in South Fork. I mean,
wow,
they're traveling a long ways.
Yeah, because I had another one that got caught. I caught it around Pigeon, and then it came from North Fork, so it was pretty
Right.
interesting. So how far they travel.
And I have caught a couple too that didn't travel very far. That was pretty close to where they got caught at. So, you know,
Yeah,
but it goes to show that they will travel a long ways.
absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Jason, my battery's down to 3%, man.
All right. Well, we'll
If
wrap
you
it up.
lose me,
Yeah,
if
if
you
I
lose
lose
me,
you, I'll
that's
just
what
ring
happened.
you. And thanks for joining us. So if anybody else, his battery's getting a little low, it's gonna have to buy him a charger or something.
Yeah, be a little more prepared.
Yeah. So anyway, there you have it. Thanks, Kenny, for joining us. Next Wednesday, we'll try to have another one. Um, uh, you know, see who we're going to have on. We'll try to get, if anybody wants to be on here that fishes Mark Twain, holler at me. We'll have you on here. You can chit chat on, what your fishing style is or whatever. So we'll be glad to have you on here. I know I've been talking with Corey Weaver from JB's Fish Sauce. He's going to try to be on next Wednesday. He fishes the Bass Opens, I believe, as a co-angler, and he's down in Florida right now, fishing. The tournament starts tomorrow, and he was going to be kind of busy tonight, so I think we're going to put that on the agenda for next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I'll put a post out on Mark Twain Anglers
Nice.
Facebook page, and so we'll have Corey Weaver. We'll talk to him about JB's Fish Sauce and try to get the insights on the Bass Opens, on what he goes through as a co-angler. I believe he's a co-angler. I know he was last year. So anyway, so look forward to that next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.